Sham Sharadava Nalalida Loka Tranaya Karuna Gana Ganatam Sham Sharadava Nalalida Loka Tranaya Karuna Gana Ganatam Prapta Sakalyana Gunana Vasya Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vrindam Prapta Sakalyana Gunana Vasya Vande Guru Shri Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vrindam Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vrindam Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Vaditramadhyam Manasurasena Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Vaditramadhyam Romanchakam Pasu Taranga Bhajo Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vrindam Romanchakam Pasu Taranga Bhajo Vande Guru Shri Shri Vigrahara Dana Nityanana Shingaratanama Niramarjanado Shri Vigrahara Juktasya Bhaktamsa Niyonjatapi Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vrindam Juktasya Bhaktamsa Niyonjatapi Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavat Prasada Satana Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangha Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavat Prasada Satana Triptan Kridvaiva Tripten Bhajata Shadeva Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vrindam Jukta Vajatu Shariva Shiradikama Dabayara Para Madhura Lila Gunarupa Namna Shradikama Madhura Lila Gunarupa Namna Pratikshana Swa Danalalopasya Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vrindam Pratikshana Danalalopasya Vande Guru Shri Charanara Ne Kunjayono Ratikeli Siddhai Jayali Veri Jokti Apekshaniya Ne Kunjayono Ratikeli Siddhai Jayali Veri Tatrati Dakya Ativalapasya Vande Gora Shri Charanarvindam. Sakshat Bharitena Shamasta Shastri Uktastathava Bhataiva Sadhavi Sakshat Bharitena Kintu Prabhoja Priya Eva Tasya Vande Gorashi Charanarvrindam Kintu Prabhoja Priya Eva Tasya Yasya Prasada Bhagavat Prasado Yasya Prasadam Nagati Kutapi Yasya Prasadam Yasya Prasadam Dayam Stobam Tasya Yashastin Sandhyam Bande Gorashi Charanarvrindam Dayam Stuvam Tasya Yasastin Sandhyam Bande Gurashi Charanarvrindam Dayam Stuvam Tasya Yasastin Sandhyam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Pachatari Shatarine Namaste Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari, Gora Bhakta Vrinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari, Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hariyaraya Namah, Krishna Jadavaya Namah, Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah, Gopal Govindaram Shrimadusudam, Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan, Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita, Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita, Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhattara Guna, Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasara Guna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Bol, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Shri Radha, Nila Madhava Radha, Nila Madhava Radhe, Jayo Radhe, Jayo Radhe, Jayo Radhe, Jayo Shri Radhe, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Sudarshan Chakra, Jagannatha, Baladeva, Jaya Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram, Sitaram, Jaya Lakshman Hanuman, Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Haribo, Jaya Vishpara Paramansa Prabhajaka Acharya Sutara Sarasi Shimad, Iskon Pratishta Bibiti Samstapakachar Vaishnava Siramani Gaura Priyajana Krishna Prema Bhakti Datta Bhatita Pavana His Divine Grace, Abhay Charvina Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ji ki jai, Shri Gauriya Guru Varga Patita Udhar ki jai, Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Guna Sadgoswami Prabhu ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ji ki jai, Jayananta Kuti Vaishnavvrindi ki jai, Prem se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vindi ki jai, Param Dayal Sri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Jai Pramanama Sankirtan ka Janak Prima Purushottam Sachinandan, Shriman Gauranga Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Gaur Hari Mavrana Avatar ki jai, Golokera Pramadhan Harinam Sankirtan Jaga ki jai, Jugadharma Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Brihadanga Transcendental Book Distribution Seva ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopagopina Radha Kunsama Kun Giriraj Govardhan ki jai, Shri Brajabhum Vrindavan Mathur Dham ki jai, Lordship Shri Shri Radha Nila Madhava ki jai, Shri Shri Mayapur Navadvip Eka Chakra Dham ki jai, Paramakurma Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Shri Purushottama Ketra Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Swami Baladev Prabhu Smaspadra Devi Sudarshan Chakra Bhagwan ki jai, Bhakti Sarva Vigna Vinashana Kanu Shingare Bhagwan ki jai, Jaganga Mai Jamuna Mai ki jai, Tulsi Maharani Vrindi Devi Bhakti Devi ki jai, Bolo Shri Mathura Dharani ki jai, Shamaveta Bhakta Vindi ki jai, Nitai Gaurari Pramanandi Haribo. All glory to the assembly bodies, all glory to the assembly bodies, all glory to the assembly bodies, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru Shri Gauranga.
Namaste Narashinhaya Prahalada Lada Daine Hiranyakashipurvakshaha Shilatankana Kalaye
Shilatanka Nakalaye
Ito Nasingha Parato Nasingha
Ito Nisingha Parata Nisingha
Yato Yato Yamitato Nasingha
Jato Jato
Bahir Nasingho Hridahe Nasingha
Aye Nisingha Hridaye Nisingha
Narasingha Marim Sharanam Prapadye
Narasingha Magdim Charana Prapadi
Tavakara Kamala Varena Kamaduta Singham Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tano Bringam Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare
Avakara Kamala Bare Naka Arabutta Singha Dalita Iranakasipu Sanavinga Kesavadita Nararirupa Jai Jagadisa Re Jai Jagadisa Re Jai Jagadisa Re
Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare
Jaya Kesavadruta Narari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare
Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha Lakshmi Narasingha Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha
Jaya Nisingare Jaya Nisingare Nisingare Jaya Nisingare
Jaya Narsingha Dev Jaya Narsingha Dev Narsingha Dev Jaya Narsingha Dev
Jaya Nisingare 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 Jaya Nisingare
Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Bhakta Prahlad
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Nrsingadev Bhagavan Ki Jai
Jai.
Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanandi
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Hari Bol
Shri Vrindai Tulasi Debai Priyayai Kesava Satya Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satavatai Namo Namaha Vrindayai Tulasi Debai Priyayai Kesava Satya Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satavatai Namo Namaha Vrindayai Tulasi Devi Priyayai Kesava Satya Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satavatai Namo Namaha Jai Shrimati Tulasi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki
Namo Nama Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Nama
Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namo
Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Nama
Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namo
Radha Krishna Seva Pava Eya Vilashi
Radha Krishna Seva Prabhu Eya Vilasi
Radha Krishna Seva Pavo Ei Abhilashi
Radha Krishna Seva Prabhu
Je tomara sharanalo Tara Vansha Purna
Je tomara sharanalo Tara Vansha Purna
Kripa Kori Koro Tare Vrindavanavasi
Tumi Kripa Kare Kara Kare Vrindavanavasi
Moraye Vilas Vilas Kunje Diyava
Moraye Vilas Kunje Diyava
Nayane Heribo Sada Jugala Ruparashi
Aminayane Riva Sada Jugala Ruparasi
Heini Vedana Daro Sakir Anugata Koro
Eni Vedana Dhara Sakira Yanogata Kara
Seva Adhikara Diye Koro Nijadasi
Sevayari Kara Diye Kara Nijadasi
Dina Krishna Dase Koi Eye Namora
Dina Krishna Dase Koyo Eye Namora
Shri Radha Govinda Preme Sadaye Navasi
Shri Radha Govinda Prime Sadayana Basi
Shri Radha Govinda Preme Sadaye Navasi
Shri Radha Govinda Prime Sadayana Basi
Yani Kani Chapapani Brahma Tyati Kani Cha Tani Tani Pranashanti Pradakshina Pade Pade
Tani Kani Sapapani Brahma Hattari Kani Sa Tani Tani Prana Santi Pradakshina Pade Pade
Yani Kani Chapapani Brahma Tyati Kani Cha Tani Tani Pranashanti Pradakshina Pade Pade
Tani Kani Sapapani Brahma Hattari Kani Sa Tani Tani Pranasanti Pradakshina Pade Pade
Yani Kani Chapapani Brahma Tyati Kani Cha Tani Tani Pranashanti Pradakshina Pade Pade
Tani Kani Sapapani Brahma Hattari Kani Sa Tani Tani Pranasanti Pradakshina Pade Pade
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani.
Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani.
Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi.
Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda.
Nitagora Haribo, 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 Nitagora Haribo.
Nitagora Haribo, 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 Nitagora Haribo. Shri Vrindayai Tulasidebai Priyayai Kesava Satya Vishnu Bhakti Pradevi Satavatai Namo Namah. Vrindayai Tulasidebai Priyayai Kesava Satya Vishnu Bhakti Pradevi Satavatai Namo Namah. Vrindayai Tulasidebai Priyayai Kesava Satya Krishna Bhakti Pradevi Satavatai Namo Namah. Jai Shrimati Tulasi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Oh Tulasi, beloved Krishna, I bow before you again and again. My desire to obtain the service of Shri Radha and Krishna. Whoever takes shelter of you as wishes fulfilled, bestowing your mercy upon him, you make him resident of Vrindavana. My desire that you also grant me a residence and pleasure groves of Sri Vrindavan Dham. Thus, within my vision, I will always behold the beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me a follower carry Mrs. of Raj. Please give me the privilege of devotional service and make me your own maid servant. This very fallen and lowly servant of Krishna praise, may I always swim in love of Shri Radha and Govinda. Shri Mati Tulasi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sikhastakam ki jai. Chaito Darpanamarjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nivapanam Shri Akari Vachandrika Vitaranam Vidya Vadu Ananda Purivardhanam Padiparam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatmasnam Param Param Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Vaudha Nija Sarva Shakti Tatra Pitanyamita Smarane Nakala Vishita Vakripaya Bhagavan Mamapi Durdhaiva Janina Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Saishtana Amani Namani Kitanya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Sundari Kavitam Vajagari Shakamaye Mama Janmani Janmanishwari Bhavatar Bhakti Rai Tukitvai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Paritamam Visame Bhavam Buddho Kripaya Tavapada Pankaja Sitaduli Sadrisham Vichintaya Nayanam Galora Shrudharaya Vadanam Gadugadarudaya Gira Purakarinchitam Vapukada Tavanama Grahane Bhavishati Juga Itam Nimishena Chakshusha Pravrashaitam Shunyaitam Jagata Sarvam Govinda Virahena Me Aslishava Padaratam Pinashtumam Adarshanar Marmahatam Karotuva Jata Tathava Vidadhatulam Pato Matprana Tastu Saivana Para Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sikhastakam Ki Jai Namo Mahavarannaya Krishna Prema Pradayati Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvesh Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunnavadi Patsatyari Satarine. Glory to the Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of a conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays that benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we're always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by holy names, but I'm so unfortunate I have no attraction for them. Once you chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself a Lord on a strolling street, one should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your cause devotional service, birth after birth. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yes, some rather I have fallen in this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up and will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and it should remain so. Even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me, he is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sikhastakam Ki Jai. There are 10 offenses in the matter of chanting the holy name of the Lord that should be avoided. They are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotee whose dedicated life for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the names of demigods, our Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, to be equal to or independent of the name Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures and pursuits of Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of chanting the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which often Vedas as fruitive activity, karma kanda. 9. To instruct the faithless person about the glories of the holy name. And 10. To not have complete faith in chanting with the holy names, and to maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our most humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnavas, devotees of the Lord. They are just like desire trees. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Jai Bancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namo. Jai Ananta Kochi Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai. Shri Mangala Charan Shri Guru Pranam Ki Jai Vandana Ki Jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakchurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namo. Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Bandeyam Shri Guru Shri Jyotaparakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatha Vintam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Cha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Saminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunnavadi Vatsatyarishatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shiva Shavana Videvi Deitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhur Jojala Premadhya Shirupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shrimurtai Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudha Pusidanta Dantarine Namagora Kishoraya Sakchavera Gyamurtaye Vipralambara Sambhode Padabhujayate Namaha Mano Bhakti Vinoraya Sakchit Ananda Namine Gora Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gora Vibhava Mumesvam Nirdesha Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarva Bhumasi Jaganatayate Namaha Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavaranayo Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnayo Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratrishe Namaha Panchatattvamakam Krishna Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhaktavatara Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Surato Pangor Mama Mandamatir Gatir Masarvasya Parambojo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Vrindaranya Kalpadumadha Shmar Naga Shingasanastu Shmaradha Shila Govinda Devo Prestari Visheva Manush Marami Shmara Sara Sarambi Vamshashtatastita Karshan Venuswanar Gopir Gopinata Shristuna Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisavano Suti Devi Pranamami Haripi Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Brahma Sangita Ki Jai. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sakchit Ananda Vigraha Anadi Adi Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Chintamani Prakada Sarna Sukalpa Viksha Lakshya Viteshu Shuravi Avipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrahma Sevamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venukanantamaravinda Dayala Takcham Bharavata Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shubham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Adula Chandra Kala Sarvanamalya Vamsi Ranangadam Pranayakiri Kala Vilasham Syamam Tribhangalalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasha Sakalendriya Vrittimanti Pasyanti Panti Kalayanti Chiranjaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadujjala Vigrasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navajauvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Adma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantastu Koti Sadavatsara Sampragamyo Vayurathapi Manaso Mani Pungavanam Sopyasya Prapadasimya Vichinchatate Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekwapya Soda Jajitum Jagananda Kutim Yakshakirasti Jagananda Chaya Jadanta Adam Tarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Jadbhava Bhavitadiyo Manujastateva Samprapya Ruma Maisma Sanayana Vusha Shukteriyameva Nigamam Prasitestu Vanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasas Pratipavitavis Tariya Eva Nijarupataya Kalavi Goloka Invasachalakamabuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Shanta Sadeva Hrideshu Vilokayantim Jamsama Sundarama Chincha Punaswarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramadi Murti Shukalani Yamena Tishtam Nana Makaro Bhuvanishu Kintu Krishna Swayam Sambhavat Paramam Pumanyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasha Prabha Prabhajato Jagananda Kutim Koti Ashashesha Vasudhari Vibhuti Vinnam Tad Brahma Niskalamanantam Ashesha Bhutam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Maya Jaganani Satani Sute Traiguna Tad Vishaya Veda Yamanam Sadvavalambi Parasadvam Visuddha Sattvam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasamatayamanasu Ya Praninam Pratipalam Samupadmupetya Lila Itena Bhuvanani Jajajashram Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Golokanamni Nijadamni Tale Satasya Devi Mahesha Haridama Shuteshu Teshu Tete Prabha Nichaya Vijina Jadena Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shriti Shriti Praya Sadhana Shakti Reka Chayena Yasha Bhuvanani Vibharti Durgam Ichan Rupam Apiyasha Shastatesa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Kiram Yatadadi Vikara Vishesha Yogam Sanjayate Naitata Pratita Kastuyetu Yasambutam Apitata Samupati Karyat Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Deparshi Eva Ija Santaramamupetya Depayate Vivritahitu Samana Dharma Yatadrik Eva Isha Shavisnutaya Vivati Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yakarnana Vajale Vajatisma Yoga Nidram Ananta Jagananda Saruma Kupa Adara Shakti Mavalambya Param Samurtim Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasve Kanisha Sitakala Atavalambya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagananda Nata Vishnur Maranja Iya Shakala Vishesho Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Baspanija Tasma Sakaleshu Niteja Teja Shiyam Kiya Prakatata Jajudra Datra Brahmaya Esha Jagananda Vidana Karta Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajamin Yat Pada Palava Yugmam Vinadaya Kumbha Dve Panama Samaye Jagadadiraja Viyam Vilandam Alalam Yashastra Yagatrayasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajamin Agnir Mai Gagana Ambu Maruti Jaja Kalasta Tadma Manishita Jagatrayani Yasman Bhavanti Vivanti Vishanti Yamcha Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajamin Yakshachurisha Savita Sakala Grahanam Raja Samasta Suramurti Mashesha Teja Jagyagya Samrati Sambrita Kala Chakru Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajamin Dharmo Tapapani Chaya Sutayastatamsi Brahmadi Kita Padagava Yajasha Jiva Yada Tamatra Vivava Prakata Brava Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajamin Yatindra Gupamata Vendra Usvakarma Bandan Rupam Palavajan Atanoti Karmani Nirnanti Kintu Bhakti Vajan Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajamin Yam Krura Kama Sahaja Pranayadi Viti Vatsalyamo Agura Gaurva Siva Bhave Yachincha Stasya Sadisim Tamama Purete Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajamin Shriya Kanta Kanta Parma Purusha Kalpatarabo Bhumi Bhumi Chintamani Garamayito Yamamritam Katagana Nityam Gananam Api Bamsi Priya Saki Chiranandam Jyoti Param Apija Aswadhyamam Api Yayatra Krishvi Swarapi Subhabivicha Sumahan Nimadakyo Yavrajati Yahijatrapi Samahan Bajisweta Dvipam Tamahami Yagoloka Mitimcha Vidanta Tishanta Kiri Virala Charati Kapaye Shri Guru Vastakam Prayers Ki Jai. This spiritual master is receiving benediction from the ocean of mercy, just as the cloud pours water in the forest fire to extinguish it. So the spiritual master delivers the material afflicted world by extinguishing the blazing fire of material existence. I offer my respectful obeisance unto the Lord's feet of such a spiritual master, who is an ocean of specious qualities. Chanting the holy name, dancing in ecstasy, singing and playing musical instruments, the spiritual master is always gladdened by the Sankirtan moment, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he is relishing the mellows of pure devotion within his mind. Sometimes his head stands on the end, he feels quivering his body, and tears from his eyes like waves. I offer my respectful obeisance unto the Lord's feet of such a spiritual master. This spiritual master is always engaged in temple worship, Shri Radha and Krishna. He also engages his disciples in such worship. They dress the deeds in beautiful clothes and ornament, clean the temple, and perform other similar worship of the Lord. I offer my respectful obeisance unto the Lord's feet of such a spiritual master. The spiritual master is always offering Krishna for kind of delicious food and knowledge, as that which is licked, chewed, drank, and sucked. When the spiritual master sees that the devotee is satisfied by eating Bhagavad Prasad, he is satisfied. I offer my obeisance to the Lord with such a spiritual master. The spiritual master is always eager to hear and chant about the unlimited conjugate pastimes of Radhika and Madhav and their qualities, name, and form. The spiritual master aspires to realize this at every moment. I offer my respectful obeisance to the Lord with such a spiritual master. The spiritual master is very dear because the expert in assisting the gopis on different times, make different tasteful arrangements for the perfection of Radha and Krishna conjugal loving affairs in the groves of Vrindavana. I offer my most humble obeisance to the Lord's feet of such a spiritual master. The spiritual master is to be honored as much the Supreme Lord because he is the most confidential servant of the Lord. This is acknowledged in all revealed scriptures and followed by all authorities. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisance to the Lord's feet of such a spiritual master, who is the bona fide representative of Sri Hari Krishna. By the mercy of the spiritual master, one receives the benediction of Krishna. Without the grace of the spiritual master, one cannot make any advancement. Therefore, I should always remember and praise the spiritual master. At least 3 times a day, I should offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord's feet of my spiritual master. Jai Patit Bhavana Shri Gurudev Krishna Prabhupada Ji Maharaj Ki Jai Gaura Pramanande Hari 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 Bol. Should we read something about Dharani? Right? Read from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay. I don't know if the books are. I took it from my phone. So. So today in our community we celebrating Smash Radhani today, right? Because we can do it on Saturday. Kasurata Yatra. Okay. So let's read something from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. CC. That will be chapter 4. That's Adilila. And then chapter 4. What comes next? Okay. Hare Krishna. So, to celebrate Radhastami in our community today, this morning, Maharaj no present, so we're going to read about Srimati Radharani from CC, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila, chapter 4. In this chapter, in the summary, Srila Prabhupada writes, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even a foolish child can fully describe the real nature of Lord Krishna, the enjoyer of the pastimes of Raj, according to the vision of the revealed scriptures. All glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Acharya, all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. I have described the meaning of the 4th verse. Now, all devotees, kindly hear the explanation of the 5th verse. Just to explain the original verse, I shall first suggest its meaning. I have given the essential meaning of the 4th verse. This incarnation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descends to propagate the chanting of the holy name and spread love of God. Although this is true, this is but the external reason for the Lord's incarnation. Please hear one other reason, the confidential reason for the Lord's appearance. The scriptures proclaim that Lord Krishna previously descended to take away the burden of the earth. To take away this burden, however, is not the work of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The maintainer, Lord Vishnu, is the one who protects the universe. But the time to lift the burden of the world mixed with the time for Lord Krishna's incarnation. When the complete Supreme Personality of Godhead descends, all other incarnations of the Lord meet together with him. Lord Narayana, the 4 primary expansion, Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha, Matsya, and the other Leela incarnations, the Yuga avatars, the Manvantara incarnation, and as many incarnations as there are, all descend in the body of Lord Krishna. In this way, the complete Supreme Godhead, Lord Krishna himself, appears. At that time, therefore, Lord Vishnu is present in the body of Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna kills the demons through him. Thus, the killing of the demons is but secondary work. I shall now speak of the main reason for the Lord's incarnation. The Lord's desire to appear was born from two reasons. The Lord wanted to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God, and he wanted to propagate the devotional service in the world on the platform of spontaneous attraction. Thus, he is known as supremely jubilant and as the most merciful of all. Lord Krishna thought, all the universe is filled with the conception of my majesty, but love weakened by that sense of majesty does not satisfy me. If one regards me as the Supreme Lord and himself as a subordinate, I do not become subservient to his love, nor can it control me. In whatever transcendental mellow my devotee worships me, I reciprocate with them. That is my natural behavior. In whatever way the devotees surrender to Krishna, unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. If one cherishes the pure loving devotion to me, thinking of me as his son, his friend, or his beloved, regarding himself as great and considering me his equal or inferior, I become subordinate to him. Wow, Krishna is so kind. Devotional service rendered to me by living beings revives their eternal life. Oh, my dear damsels of Raj, your affection for me is your good fortune, for it is the only means by which you have obtained my favor. Mother sometimes binds me as a son. She nourishes and protects me, thinking me utterly helpless. My friends climb on my shoulders in pure friendship, saying, "What kind of a big man are you? You and I are equal." If my beloved consort reproaches me in a sulky mood, that stills my mind from the reverent hymns of the Vedas. Taking these pure devotees with me, I shall descend and sport in various wonderful ways, unknown even in Vaikuntha. I shall broadcast such pastimes by which even I am amazed. The influence of Yogamaya will inspire the gopis with the sentiment that I am their paramour. Neither the gopis nor I shall notice this, for our minds will always be entranced by one another's beauty and qualities. Pure attachment will unite us even at the expense of moral and religious duties, dharma. Destiny will sometimes bring us together and sometimes separate us. I shall test the essence of all these rasas, and in this way I shall favor all the devotees. Then, by hearing about the pure love of the residents of Vraj, devotees will worship me on the path of spontaneous love, abandoning all rituals and religiosity and fruitive activity. Krishna manifested his eternal human-like form and performed his pastimes to show mercy to the devotees. Having heard such pastimes, one should engage in service to him. Here they use the verb bhavet, means is in imperative mood, tells us that this certainly must be done. Non-compliance would be abandonment of duty. Just as these desires are the fundamental reason for Krishna's appearance, whereas destroying the demons is only an incidental necessity. So, for Sri Krishna Chaitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, promulgating the Dharma of the age is incidental. When the Lord desired to appear for another reason, the time for promulgating the religion of the age also arose. Thus, with true intention, the Lord appeared with his devotees and tasted the nectar of prema with the congregational chanting of the holy name. Thus, he spread kirtan even among the untouchables. He wove a wreath of the holy name and prema with which he garlanded the entire material world. In this way, assuming the sentiment of a devotee, he preached devotional service while practicing it himself. 4 kinds of devotees are the receptacles of the 4 kinds of mellows in love of God, namely servitude, friendship, parental, affection, and conjugal love. Each kind of devotee feels that his sentiment is the most excellent, and thus, in that mood, he tastes great happiness with Lord Krishna. But if compared to sentiments in impartial mood, we find that the conjugal sentiment is superior to all other in sweetness. Increasing love is experienced in various tests, one above another. But that love, which has the highest taste in the gradual succession of desire, manifests itself in the form of conjugal love. Therefore, I call it Madhurya Ras. It has 2 further divisions, namely wedded and unwedded love. There is a great increase of mellow in the unwedded conjugal mood. Such love is found nowhere but in Vraj. This mood is abounded in the damsels of Vraj, but among them it finds its perfection in Sri Radha. Her pure, mature love surpasses all others. Her love is the cause of Lord Krishna's tasting the sweetness of the conjugal relationship. Therefore, Lord Gauranga, who is Sri Hari himself, accepted the sentiments of Radha and thus fulfilled his own desires. Lord Chaitanya is the shelter of the demigods, the goal of Upanishads, the be-all and end of all of the great sages, the beautiful shelter of his devotees, and the essence of the love of the lotus-eyed gopis. Will he again be the object of my vision? Lord Krishna desired to taste the limitless nectarian mellows of the love of one of his multitude of loving damsels, Sri Radha. And so he has assumed the form of Lord Chaitanya. He has tasted that love while hiding his own dark complexion with her effulgent yellow color. May the Lord Chaitanya confer upon us his grace. To accept ecstatic love is the main reason he appeared and reestablished the religious system for this age. I shall now explain that reason. Everyone please listen. Having first given hints about the verse describing the principal reason why the Lord appeared, now I shall manifest its full meaning. The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they separated themselves eternally. Now, these 2 transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. Radha and Krishna are one and the same, but they have assumed two bodies. Thus, they enjoy each other, tasting the mellows of love. Now, to enjoy rasa, they have appeared in one body as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, I shall first delineate the position of Radha and Krishna. From that description, the glory of Lord Chaitanya will be known. Srimati Radhika is the transformation of Krishna's love. She is the eternal energy called Ladini. That Ladini energy gives Krishna pleasure and nourishes his devotees. Jai. So all the devotees are nourished by the nectar from Srimati Radharani. Ladini Shakti. Okay. Ladini is this aspect of bliss. Sandini of external existence, and Sambit of recognizance, which is also accepted as knowledge. O Lord, you are the support of everything. The three attributes, Ladini, Sandini, and Sambit, exist in you as one spiritual energy. That's called Swarup Shakti. But the material modes, which cause happiness, misery, and mixtures of the two, do not exist in you, for you have no material qualities. The essential portion of the Ladini potency is Shuddha Sattva. Lord Krishna's existence rests upon it. Krishna's mother, father, abode, house, bathing, seats, and so on are all transformations of Shuddha Sattva. The condition of pure goodness, Shuddha Sattva, in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead is revealed without any covering, is called Vasudeva. And that pure state, the Supreme Godhead, who is beyond the material senses and who is known as Vasudeva, is perceived by my mind. The essence of the Sambit potency is knowledge that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna. All other kinds of knowledge, such as the knowledge of Brahman, are its components. The essence of the Ladini potency is love of God, and the essence of love of God is emotion, bhav, and the ultimate development of emotion is mahabhav. Shri Radha Thakurani is the embodiment of mahabhav. She is the repository of all good qualities and the crest jewel among all lovely consorts of Lord Krishna. Of these two gopis, Radharani and Chandravali, Srimati Radharani is superior in all respects. She is the embodiment of Mahabhav, and she surpasses all in good qualities. Her mind, senses, and body are steeped in love for Krishna. She is Krishna's own energy, and she helps him in his pastimes. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who resides in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, who resembles his own spiritual figure and who embodies the ecstatic potency, Ladini. Their companions are her confidants, who embodied extension of her bodily form and who are imbued and permeated with ever blissful spiritual rasas. That means the gopis, all the gopis. Gopi Gana. Now please listen to our Lord Krishna's consort how Lord Krishna's consort help him taste rasa and how they help him in his pastimes. The beloved consort of Lord Krishna are of three kinds: the goddesses of fortune, the queens, and the milkmaids of Raj, who are the foremost of all. These consorts all proceed from Radhika, mean the old expansion, or the gopis are the expansions or Srimati Radharani. Just as the fountainhead Lord Krishna is the cause of all the all incarnations, so Shri Radha is the cause of all these consorts. The gopis, the queen, the Lakshmis, the all expansion of Srimati Radharani in Vaikuntha and in Dwarka, like that. The goddesses of fortune are her plenary portions, and they display the forms of Vaibhava Vilas. Means like Narayan, 4 hands. The queens are of the nature of her Vaibhava Prakash. So the queens, they look just like the gopis. And they're higher than the Lakshmis, obviously. So the Vraja Devis, the gopis, have diverse bodily features. They are her expansions and are the instruments of expanding rasa. Without many consorts, there's not such exaltation in rasa. Therefore, there are many manifestations of Srimati Radharani to assist in the Lord's pastimes. Among them are various groups of consorts in Vraj who have varieties and sentiments and mellows. They help Lord Krishna taste all the sweetness of the rasa dance and other pastimes. Radha is the one who gives pleasure to Govinda, and she is also the enchantress of Govinda. She is the be-all and end of all of Govinda, and the crest jewel of all his consorts. The transcendental goddess Srimati Radharani is the direct counterpart of Lord Shri Krishna. She is the central figure for all the goddesses of fortune. She possesses all the attractiveness to attract the all-attractive personality of Godhead. She is the primeval internal potency of the Lord. Devi means splendid and most beautiful, or else it means the lovely abode of the worship of Lord's sports of Lord, and love sports of Lord Krishna. Krishna Mai means one who is within and without our Lord Krishna. So this is describing Srimati Radharani, different names, the meaning of different names of Srimati Radharani. She sees Lord Krishna wherever she casts her glance. Or Krishna Mai means that she is identical with Lord Krishna, for she embodies the mellows of love. The energy of Lord Krishna is identical with him. So Shakti, Shaktiman, Abhina. No difference between energy and energetic. Her worship, Aradhana, consists of fulfilling the desires of Lord Krishna. Therefore, the Puranas call her Radhika. Truly, the personality of Godhead has been worshipped by her. Therefore, Lord Govinda therefore Lord Govinda, being pleased, has brought her to a lonely spot, leaving us all behind. Therefore, Radha is Paramadevata, the supreme goddess, and she is worshipable for everyone. Jai Srimati Radharani is worship. She is the protectress of all, and she is the mother of the entire universe. Wow. That's the position of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radhika ki Jai. I'll read it again. Therefore, Radha is Paramadevata, the supreme goddess, and she is worshipable for everyone. She is the protectress of all, and she is the mother of the entire universe. I have already explained the meaning of Sarva Lakshmi. Radha is the original source of all the goddesses of fortune. Or Sarvalakshmi indicates that she fully represents the 6 opulences of Krishna. Therefore, she is the supreme energy of Lord Krishna. So one saying, Krishna Purna Shaktiman, Radha Purna Shakti. So Krishna is the complete energetic, and Radha is complete power. So all the power of Krishna are all within Radharani. Amazing. Kanti is not the name of Radharani. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, the word Sarvalakshmi can indicate beauty. Where are you now? 92, yes. The word Sarva Kanti indicates that all beauty and luster rest in her body. All the Lakshmis derive their beauty from her. Kanti may also mean all the desires of Lord Krishna. All the desire of Lord Krishna rests in Srimati Radharani. Jai. Srimati Radhika fulfills all the desires of Lord Krishna. This is the meaning of Sarvakanti. Lord Krishna enchants the world, but Shri Radha enchants even him. Therefore, she is the supreme goddess of all. Shri Radha is the full power, and Lord Krishna is the possessor of full power. So Shaktiman and Shakti. The two are not different, as evidenced by the revealed scriptures. They are indeed the same, just as musk and its scents are inseparable, or as fire and its heat are non-different. Thus Radha and Lord Krishna are one, yet they have taken 2 forms to enjoy the mellows of pastime. Lila rasa aswadite dari dvi rupa. That's the original verse. Lila rasa swadite dari dvi rupa means to lila rasa means the pastime of testing the mellows. Lila rasa aswadite, in order to test the mellows of pastime, they have to have 2 bodies. Lila rasa aswadite dari dvi rupa. So they have to assume 2 form in order to test. You can't test one side. So love means 2 sides. Love and beloved. So like that. That's the original verse. To promulgate Prema Bhakti, devotional service in love of Godhead, Krishna appeared as Sri Krishna Chaitanya with the mood and complexion of Sri Radha. Thus, I have explained the meaning of the 5th verse. To explain the 6th verse, I should first give a hint of its meaning. The Lord came to propagate Sankirtana, that is an external purpose, as I have already indicated. There is a principal cause for Lord Krishna's appearance. It grows from his own engagements are the foremost enjoyer of loving exchanges. That most confidential cause is threefold. Swarup Damodar has revealed it. Swarup Goswami is the most intimate associate of the Lord. He therefore knows all these topics well. The heart of Lord Chaitanya is the image of Sri Radhika's emotions. Thus, feelings of pleasure and pain arise constantly therein. In the final portion of his pastimes, Lord Chaitanya was obsessed with the madness of separation from Lord Krishna. He acted in erroneous ways and talked deliriously. Just as Radhika went mad at the sight of Uddhav, so Lord Chaitanya was obsessed day and night with the madness of separation. At night, he talked incoherently in grief with his arms around Swarup Damodar's neck. He spoke out his heart in ecstatic inspiration. Whenever a particular sentiment arose in his heart, Swarup Damodar satisfied him by singing songs or reciting verses of the same nature. To analyze these pastimes is not necessary now. Later, I shall describe them in details. Formally in Vraj, Lord Krishna displayed three ages, namely childhood, boyhood, and adolescence. His adolescence is especially significant. Parental affection made his childhood fruitful. His boyhood was successful with his friends. In youth, he tested the essence of rasa, fulfilling his desires in pastimes like the rasa dance with Shrimati, Radhika, and other gopis. In his youth, Lord Krishna made all three of his ages and the entire universe successful by his pastimes of amorous love like the rasa dance. Lord Madhusudana enjoyed his youth with pastimes and autumn nights in the midst of the jewel-like milkmaids, means the gopis. Thus, he dispelled all the misfortunes of the world. Lord Krishna made Srimati Radharani close her eyes in shame before her friends by his word relating the amorous activities on the previous night. Then he showed the highest limit of cleverness in drawing pictures of dolphins in various playful spots on her breasts. In this way, Lord Hari made his youth successful by performing pastimes in the bushes with Sri Radha and her friends. O Purnamasi, if Lord Hari had not descended in Mathura with Srimati Radharani, this entire creation, and especially Cupid, the demigod of love, would have been useless. Even though Lord Krishna, the abode of all mellows, had previously in this way chewed the essence of the mellows of love, still he was unable to fulfill three desires, although he made efforts to test them. I shall explain his first desire. Krishna says, I am the primary cause of all causes. Primary cause of all rasas, sorry. I am the full spiritual truth and am made of full joy, but the love of Srimati Radharani drives me mad. I do not know the strength of Radha's love, in which she always overwhelms me. This is Krishna's thinking. The love of Radhika is my teacher, and I am a dancing pupil. Her prema makes me dance various novel dances. The original verse is Radha Premi Guru Amisi Shanata. Sana Nana Ama Urbata. That's the original verse. Means that Radharani, Krishna accepts Radharani as a guru. Yes. Okay. What's the question now? Why Krishna had to accept Radharani as guru? For what purpose? We're having fun about Srimati Radharani. Anybody can say if he knows? Interaction. Why? Krishna is Jagat Guru. But now Krishna himself, this is Krishna speaking, that love Srimati Radharani is my guru, I is my pupil, I'm a student. She can make me dance, just like a guru can make disciple do anything. Guru can tell disciple, stand up, dance, run, come back, fast, do this. You have to do it because you voluntarily accept a guru. Means you have to accept whatever guru tells you to do. Just like Lord Parashuram, yeah, he was acting as Lord Jamadagni, the father of Lord Parashuram. He was his guru, his father. He was a great soul. It was Muni. When he ordered Lord Parashuram to chop up the head of Renuka, He didn't argue at all. Other brothers, they argued, but Lord Parshuram did. Because Guru says, when King Dashrath ordered Lord Ram it was faultless. He didn't do anything. But the father said, just go to the forest. Lord Ram didn't argue at all. We follow that example, right? When it is kind of like instruction of Guru, like father, mother, should be carried out. So now Krishna wants to become to disciple. Why? Here previously we read that he's the enjoyer of all mellows, right? He tasted all these mellows in different ways. Blah, blah. So what the need of him to step down to become a disciple instead of being guru? It's a very important question. So if we know this answer, then we can understand really the position of Srimati Radharani. Yes. Nobody have the answer? Huh? Yeah, that's right. Why? Okay. Because, like we've been reading here, it said that Krishna, when he was enjoying his pastime, the gopis, right? In Braj, Lila, Rasa, especially Rasa Lila, he was the enjoyer of these pastimes. But he has 3 desires that he couldn't fulfill at that time. Although he's enjoying his pastime Radharani, but he has his personal confidential desires in his heart. Nobody knew that. But while he was enjoying, he tried to fulfill those desires, but he couldn't. There's another question is that why he couldn't fulfill those desires? Because to fulfill those desires, okay, I'm gonna read actually. I don't want to get lost in a comment, but I'm gonna read what actually was coming up now. So Krishna just said that I do not know the strength of Radha's love, which she always overwhelms me. The love Radhika is my teacher, and I am her dancing pupil. Her prema makes me dance various novel dances. So this is a quote from writing Sri Rupa Goswami. Oh, my beloved friend Vrinda, where are you coming from? I'm coming from the feet of Lord, the feet of Shri Hari. Where is he? In the forest of the bank, in the forest on the bank of Radha Kund. What is he doing there? He is learning dancing. Who is master? Your image. Radha. The image. So, Radha, Krishna, that time will accept Radharani as a guru, and by looking at the image of Radharani, Krishna learning how to dance. Revealing itself in every tree and creeper, in every direction. So wherever Krishna sees, he sees Radharani in the bush, in the tree, in the creepers, over that, in all directions. He's roaming like skillful dancer, making him dance behind. So whatever pleasure I get, Krishna again says this, whatever pleasure I get from testing my love for Srimati Radharani, what happened now? Radharani tests love, Radharani's love is always full of similar contradiction. No, what is it? No, sorry, I jumped. So Krishna says, whatever pleasure I get from testing my love from Srimati Radharani, she tests 10 million times more than me by her love. This is the cause why Krishna, this is one of the reasons why Krishna, it tried to enjoy as the word of Radharani, but Radharani every time tests 10 million times. A big difference. And then Krishna started thinking, why can't you test the same thing? She's testing more than me, 10 million times. That's big, isn't it? And Krishna is very greedy fellow. Krishna is very greedy. He said, also, I want to taste like that, but I can't. So, Krishna is wondering here, Radhani tastes 10 million times than me by my love. So here's the thing. Two-person love. They're enjoying loving transaction, loving affairs, loving exchanges. Okay. Now the question will be there, of the two, who's testing more? The answer will come. So, Krishna says that Radhani tests much, 10 million times. Just I am the abode, Krishna says, just as I am the abode of all mutually contradictory characteristics, so Radha's love is always full of similar contradictions. Radha's love is all-pervading, leaving no room for expansion, but still it is expanding constantly. Can you imagine such a thing? Something has no limit, right? But it's still expanding. It's inconceivable, right? Very difficult to understand that. It's always expansion. This is love of Radharani has no limit, but it's always ever. Radharani doesn't love Krishna always some way. No. Every moment that love is different, increase. So we can't even conceive of it. Similarly, Krishna's beauty also increases. So there is a transcendental competition. So Radharani's love is always pervading, leaving no room for expansion, but still it is expanding constantly. There is certainly nothing greater than her love. Nothing greater than that. But her love is devoid of pride. She's mature where we have something, we're very proud. Oh, I'm the richest person of this, I'm strong, you know. But imagine Radharani, her love has no limit, great, but she's in contradiction, she's very, very humble. In fact, the many statements, I don't know if they're in this chapter actually, when Radharani says that she doesn't have even pretending love for Krishna. And she's the embodiment of love Krishna. But she said, even cheating love is not there. Even pretending one is not there. But when Radharani says that, she's not joking. She feels actually like that. So this is very transcendental, very difficult to comprehend. So then he said, Krishna says, nothing is pure. So here, Krishna is glorifying love of Srimati Radharani. In other words, Krishna here is glorifying Radharani. This is the way also Krishna had to become disciple, because disciple is to glorify Guru. Disciple is to glorify Guru. So all these statements of Krishna, they are meant to glorify Srimati Radharani, his Guru. Nothing is purer than her love, but its behavior is always perverse and crooked. All glories to Radha's love for Krishna, the enemy of demon Mura. Although it is all-pervading, it tends to increase at every moment. Yes, that love of Srimati Radharani is all-pervading already, but it's increasing every moment. Although it is important, it is devoid of pride. And although it is pure, it is always beset with duplicity. Shri Radhika is the highest abode of that love. So Radharani is known Mahabhava Chintamani. Mahabhava Chintamani Radha Thakurani. She's Radha Thakurani, means she's the embodiment of Mahabhav. And Mahabhav, the love has about 10 stages. Sneha, Rati, Prema, Sneha, Mana, pranaya, raga, anuraga, bhava, adiruda, diruda bhav, adiruda bhav, modanakyo, madanakyo, and then madanakyo, mabhav. 10 stages, you know. But in English word we just said love. But in Sanskrit, so it's compared to, you know, the process of sugar, you know. You have a seed of sugar candy, then sugar candy, then you get molasses, and you boil it, and this, you know, sugar candy, mystery, and so on and so on and so on. So that's Radhani on the topmost. She's the embodiment of that, Mahabhav. So, okay, Radhika is the highest abode of that love, and I am its only object. So in loving affairs between Radha and Krishna, Krishna is the Ashroya Vigraha, is the only enjoyer. And Radharani is the abode of love, Ashroya. So they're fixed in those positions. They can never change. They can never. So Krishna says he's the only object of love, Radharani. So Radharani loves only Krishna in that sense. So Krishna says, I taste the bliss to which the object of love is entitled. So simple. Two-person love. Each one tastes the nectar which is entitled. For instance, between husband and wife, husband has his way of getting pleasure out of his love, and wife has her own way of taking pleasure. It's not the same. It's easy to understand. The pleasure of man and the pleasure of female. So everything Krishna is saying is completely logical, makes sense. So Krishna tests that, being object of love, he tests that. It is the service of the Radharani and all the devotees. He's the enjoyer, basically. And then he says, I taste the bliss to which the object of love is entitled. The object of love means Krishna. So, but the pleasure of Radha, the abode of that love, is 10 million times greater. Again, Krishna repeats the same thing again. So, in uniting or being in a loving exchange, so the pleasure of Srimati Radharani is 10 million times. Yes! And Krishna cannot understand it. So this really, even Krishna all-knowing, that's not a story, but anyway, let's follow what's there. So, Krishna mentioning all these things. He said, my mind rested to test the pleasure experienced by the abode. See, that's the thing now. Now, Krishna is so eager. Yes, I want to test that. I want to test that pleasure, which is 10 million times than mine. Then what happened? His mind resting to test that, to experience that, the pleasure of the abode of love, Ashroya. But then he said, but I cannot test it, even by my best efforts. How may I test it? What can I do now? I try. Krishna is all powerful. He can do and undo things. But he failed. You know, here he fails, he cannot. So he's done what to do now. So this thought actually, he's kind of racing his mind. He's completely, actually there's another writing later said, by thinking of that, Krishna became mad. Became like a mad person.
So, after reading this, it looks like the object of enjoyment has more pleasure than the one who is enjoying it.
Say again?
So, it looks like...
You want to take mine? Prabhu, you add in time? She will need a little bit more, yeah? It's a nectar, isn't it? This is the best thing to meditate on such a day.
Thank you. So, based on what we are reading here, right? So, the object of enjoyment has more pleasure than the who is enjoying it.
The object of love.
Object of love, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever is
And who is the object?
having. In
okay,
this case, maybe say Radha Rani.
who's the object of love according to what we're reading now?
Radha Rani.
No, Krishna.
No. Sorry, object of. I'm saying other way around. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Radha
Krishna
Rani.
is the object of love because Radharani is the abode of love. Just like a loving mother love a child. So the child is the object of love for the mother. Or husband and wife. They love each other. Okay, can put it in this way. Radharani, she's the abode of love. So the abode of love, she's the lover. Yeah? She loves. And who does she love? Krishna. So Krishna is the object of love.
Okay, so it's other way. I thought it's other way around. Like Krishna is
The
enjoying.
object of love, yeah.
Okay.
Is that clear now?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, Krishna said, my mind races to taste the pleasure experienced by the abode, by Radharani. But I cannot taste it, even by my best effort. How may I taste it? So Krishna doesn't let go things. He doesn't. He doesn't let go. When he desires something, that desire must be fulfilled. But nevertheless, he cannot do in this situation. But now he has to find by all means how to do it. This is a very, very difficult task. So, for Krishna. So he said, how may I taste it? Then he said, if sometime I can be the abode of that love, only then may I taste it. It's the only way.
So again, my question is, Radharani is enjoying, the love. She's doing love to Krishna, right?
By
So-
loving Krishna,
Loving Krishna, she is enjoying the mellows
is
of loving, right?
10 million times
10 million times, right?
that pleasure that Krishna gets.
So what we are thinking, my question was, I couldn't ask you properly. So here the Radharani is enjoying the love, right? But Krishna wants to go again in the Radharani's form to enjoy that. So it looks like when who is enjoying, the other person who is being enjoyed doesn't get that feeling. So he has to take the form of other to enjoy that.
That's coming up, yeah? He says that. He said, because as a Krishna, he's entitled to his enjoyment as a Krishna, the object of love. That means Radhani, she's Ladini Shakti, she gives pleasure to Krishna. And Krishna is entitled to that pleasure. So whatever Radhani does, Radhani's service, the way Radhani dress, everything has to give pleasure to Krishna. And Krishna enjoy. Just like, we can take a material example. If you know a beautiful person, and that person gives you pleasure. The way she dresses, the way she does everything. That's why you love her. Okay. There's no love here, obviously, but it's an example. So, everything, Radharani's, she's the manifestation of pleasure. So when Krishna sees Radharani, the way Radharani dress, the way Radharani speaks, everything Radharani does gives pleasure to Krishna. There's one song I was singing on the Radhastami Day. We were at the festival, a few devotees were doing Abhishek. That song actually is by Guru Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. So there's one refrain. He said, when Radharani doesn't give darshan to Krishna, after some time, Krishna cannot handle it. He becomes mad. At a certain point, he has to Krishna to see Radharani. If not, then he feels like his life is getting out. So that song, he said, Krishna used to go everywhere. When he doesn't get darshan Radharani, he'll go to Vamsivat, Keshigat, Govardhan, Radhakund, all those places, Vrajamandal. Go everywhere calling, Radhe, Kotahe go preme, Moi Radhe Radhe. Kotahe go preme, Moi Radhe Radhe. Kotahe go, Kotai, Radharani, where are you? You know? And when he doesn't find it, he runs to another place. Kotai Radhe, where are you? Please, I can't remember that verse. He said, I need your darshan. Without your darshan, there's no reason for me to be here in Vrajabhumi. There's no Vrajabhumi for me without you, Radharani. Vrajabhumi has no meaning. And not only that, if you don't give me your darshan, my life will get out. I'll die. You see? So, that means Radharani is Ladini. She gives everything she does pleases Krishna. And that pleasure, only Radharani, nobody. Krishna also gets pleasure from other devotees. But elsewhere Krishna says, the pleasure derives from Srimati Radharani is unique. Nothing equal to it. Only Radharani pleases him the best. You see? It's Krishna's statements. Krishna saying this. So Radha is Ladini. But now in spite of that, the pleasure now Radharani gets by being with Krishna 10 million times. So now Krishna is wondering, he's curious now. I want to taste that pleasure too. But he tries, he couldn't do it. Then what comes up? He said, okay, if you are deliberate, I found it's the only way to do it. I have to take the position, Srimati Radharani. But that's very difficult. How can you do that? You cannot decide today, oh, I'm fed up being husband, I want to become a wife. Can you? I'm sure probably you can do that. Can you? Maybe you can. You cannot do all of a sudden say, I don't want more to be husband. I want to be a wife. It doesn't. It's not. In a normal dealing, it's not possible. So for Krishna too. So Krishna said, but yes, if Krishna wants to test that pleasure, tested by Srimati Radharani, so he has to become Radharani. But nothing impossible for Krishna. So, but he says here, he said, if sometime I can be aboard of that love, only then I may test it. Yes, that's logical. Thinking this way, Lord Krishna was curious to test that love, you see. And then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that at the time when Krishna developed this idea that he wanted to test love of Srimati Radharani, it is said Krishna developed greed. This is described by Swarup Damodar Goswami. And also Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, said that he gives this example how that greed was. You know, when you're cooking sweet rice, first you make milk. You're a good cook, I know that. So you're cooking sweet rice, you put milk and rice. And then gradually it's boiling. When it's ready, what does that do, the mixture and the fire? How it does boil? Become top. No normal, because it's thickness, top. So Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami gives this analogy that greed, that desire, we call lobe, yeah? Yeah, loba. It was so intense in Krishna's heart. And when Krishna, you see, anything of Krishna is unlimited. We have also lobe too, right?
Yeah.
We have lobe, everybody, because we are part and parcel of Krishna. So we inherited the quality of Krishna. But our love is very tiny. But Krishna's love is unlimited. All the qualities of Krishna are unlimited. So you can imagine the unlimited love of Krishna in the heart is boiling. Top. So it's amazing. So Krishna, how can I taste it? How can I take that position of Srimati Radharani? So now it is said, thinking this way, Lord Krishna was curious to test that love. His eager desire for that love increasingly blazed in his heart. So like a blazing fire. Blazing fire. So, now, this is one desire. This is one desire. You remember 3 desires. So this one, explain. So the second desire, he said, that's one desire. Now please, now Prabhu, please hear of another. Pardon? If you want, I ask that. Prabhu said, I asked him to tell me when he wants to do it. It's not up to me. Huh?
Let's do our thing.
I asked him, he want to stop. He said, no, we'll continue. So if you want to stop, I can stop. I have no problem. What do you want, Prabhu? You want to do? Okay. Jai Shrimati Radharani ki jai. Jai Shri Shri Radhe. The song?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sana Vando mohe savadhana mate Can you hold it? Hold this. Jahar prasade bhai E bhav toriya jaya Krishna prapti hoye jahote Krishna prapti hoye jahote Krishna prapti Guru mukha padma vakya Chite te koriya hai kya और ना कोई हो माने आशा Shri Guru Charane Rati Eise Uttama Gati. Je prasade pure sarvasha. Come towards the right, Prabhuji. I can't like. Ye prasade pure sarvasha. चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते वेद गाय जाहर चरितो वेद गाय जाहर चरितो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अदम जनर बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अगम जनर बंधु लोकेनाथ लोके राजीवाना हा हा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया हा हा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया ए बेजाज घुसुक त्रिभुवाना ए बेजाज घुसुक त्रिभुवाना जया प्रभुपदा जया प्रभुपदा जया प्रभुपदा जया प्रभुपदा प्रभुपा 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 जया जया प्रभुपा श्रीला प्रभुपाद की
जय विष्णुपाद परम प्रभा जगाचार्य सुतर सरशिष्यमाद इस्कॉन प्रतिष्ठापित विधि संस्था कच्चर वैष्णव शिरोमणि गौर कृष्ण प्रेम भक्ति दाता पतित पावन His divine grace अभयचरविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद गुरु पूज्य सर्वमंगल की जय श्री गौर गुरु वर्गपति उदार की जय श्री रूप सनातन भक्त रघुनाथ जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास गुण सदगोस्वामी प्रभु की जय नमाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर जी की जय अनंत कुट वैष्णव विंद की जय प्रेम से को श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसरी गौर भक्त बिंद की जय। श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। गौरंग महाप्रभु की जय। गोलोक प्रमिधान नाम संकीर्तन जय की जय। जुगधर्म हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। बृहद मृदंग ट्रांसनेंटल श्रील प्रभुपाद बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सेवा की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरिभो। श्री मथुरा रानी की जय। समवेत भक्त बिंद की जय। All glories to the Son of the bodies. All glories to the Son of the bodies. All glories to the Son of the bodies. All glories, glories to Sri Guru. Shri Gauranga. I bow down to the Lord's feet with God own reverence. By His grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from His Lord's mouth. Attachment to His Lord's feet, the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my dark eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From Him ecstatic prem emanates, by Him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of His character. Our spiritual master of the ocean of mercy, friend of the poor, Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your Lord's feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds, and we take shelter at your Lord's feet. Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada Ji ki jai. Go for flowers. Hari